Welcome back. The Latino Film Festival showcases movies from the community that aren't always seen on screen. There are new and exciting changes to this year's festival. Here with more is Festival Director Lucho Ramirez. Lucho, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, I want to talk about the film festival and kind of everything that people are going to get to experience. So what are some of the major highlights from this year?
The major highlights is that we focus on independent film. There's a lot of independent film from the U.S. that's shown, short films, documentaries, and some narrative features. And so we open with a documentary, we close with a documentary, and in between people have an option to choose pretty much anything that is being produced here in the U.S. and throughout Latin America.
Amazing. And about how many films are going to be incorporated in this year's event?
We have 44 films. There's 28 programs. There's 5 shorts programs. And between the narrative features and documentaries, it's about evenly split.
Amazing. And why do you think that it's so important to showcase Latino filmmakers in this sort of way?
Well, I think it's a complicated question, but I would say, like we talk about representation and inclusion and all of that, it's also entertaining. But it is a platform for independent film. It's an opportunity for filmmakers to showcase their work, for the community to see that, and it's also sort of a meeting point for different filmmakers when they do come and they do have those opportunities to connect with each other. But visibility is probably the most important aspect of it, because these are works that are made by Latinos and where there is a Latino cast on the screen. It's not, you know, onlooker number 5 or what have you. They're front and center, and the productions themselves, behind the scenes, the writers, the producers, the directors. So that's an important aspect of what we look at when the films are submitted.
Amazing. I want to talk about the submission process, and you know, as the festival director, you have your hand right in the selection of what's going to come in, and so I'm sure that you just get so many submissions. What is the process like to narrow it down to select who gets into the festival?
Right, it's complicated. This year we got over 400 films.
Wow.
And we do have a screening committee, so there's about 40 people that are looking at films, about 3 people look at each one, and then we just sort of start filtering that way. But since representation is also important in terms of the diverse countries and all of that, then we start making choices. And then ultimately is the number of screens that we have. As we have emerged from COVID, there's more of an expectation to have in-person screenings, and really that's what we enjoy the most. And so that also kind of determines how many films we can have. So that's why this year I think we have almost 30 in-person screenings, and whether ticketed or free or outdoor, which is something new this year.
Oh, amazing. Well, let's touch on that.
Yeah.
Outdoor is a new aspect of this festival. Why did you want to have some outdoor screenings?
Outdoor, I think it's just one of those very retro things to do. They're very much something that opens itself up for people to really have that communal experience. And this year we're showing an incredible animation, and I think it's one of those things where it's like families can connect with each other, community can connect with each other, and for us, it's been a goal to have an outdoor screening.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic.
I agree. I think that being outside, whether you're at a drive-in or kind of, it reminds me of being at summertime. They have movies in the park, so it brings that nostalgic feeling of just getting together with family and friends and enjoying some entertainment. Let's talk about some of the films. What is something that really stood out to you or that people should look forward to?
Right. I really love our opening night film, which was Prodigal Daughter, which is a profile of a filmmaker's life and her relationship with her family, which screens again. But then we have another film called Las Tres Sisters, which is a Mexican-American production. These actresses and producers did their own writing, directing. It took them 9 years. It's a project that is very involved because filmmaking is not easy, and they became almost like sisters in the process of producing their film. It's a film that it's a pilgrimage through rural Mexico, Jalisco. It's a side of Mexico that we don't see. It's a comedy, and it's a bit of a drama. And it's a real joy to see something like that that is atypical of seeing in film, seeing it in screen, especially a film that's somewhat bilingual, really. Spanish and English.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that those are going to be just amazing and that people are really going to enjoy those along with all the others. You mentioned some will be free and some are ticketed. Where can people go to get information to make sure that they attend?
Right. So visit our website, cinemassf.org. You can consult all the different programs that are screening, free films as well as the ticketed events. And we'll be at various spaces in San Francisco, including the Roxy, Yerba Buena Center for the Arts, Mission Cultural Center, and La Peña Cultural Center.
Amazing. Well, Lucho, we were just talking before we came on camera. You said this is your 16th year of doing the festival.
Yes.
For you, what is your favorite part about this every year?
My favorite part is actually getting to this point where we're talking to the community and getting people to attend the film festival. Ultimately, that's what we want people to do, is to come and see. And of course, when I actually see the filmmakers that come through town, and that's a real joy, because a lot of times they're just names on a list or on your screen, and when you actually see them, you really see who they are and all the people that are behind all of these amazing works. So that's a real pleasure.
Yeah, this is the celebration of all the hard work for the filmmakers, for yourself putting the festival together. So I know it's going to be amazing. And thank you so much for joining us here to share a little bit more about it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.